Here's everything you need to start as a solopreneur. My name is David Michelson. I help aspiring entrepreneurs start a business and get their first minimum of $1,000 in 90 days, or they get it for free. And it's my mission to make entrepreneurship available to everyone. But entrepreneurship is scary, especially if you're trying to get started on your own. You don't have a team, you might not have a budget, you might not even have an idea that you think can work. So where do you start and how do you start? Well, in this video, I'll break down exactly what you need and don't need to start a profitable solopreneur business. And I've made so many of the classic mistakes. I was scared to get started. I thought I needed the perfect idea. I didn't dare ask anyone if they wanted to buy from me. I did too many things at once. I didn't know which niche to choose. All of those things I've tried and I know why they don't work. And so with that in mind, let's get into it. What I'm about to show you is a 7-step model. 7 steps that you need to get through to make your first money in your new business. Part 1 is pick a problem, not a passion. Most people start with passion, but passion without a painful problem is just a hobby. If you actually want to get paid, you need to solve some kind of problem that is causing discomfort or inconvenience for someone. So, how do you do that? Well, step 1 is find a niche group of people with a specific problem, and then in that area or within that group, ask 5 people. What's frustrating you about insert the area right now? And just have a serious and honest conversation. That's all it is. You just want information about what is annoying to them. What would they like to get rid of? What would they want someone else to take care of for them? Those are all problems that you can profit from solving. Then once you have an idea which has been confirmed or verified by a couple of people, plug it into whatever AI you prefer and ask it to expand the problem. And what are some of the easiest ways that you can get started with solving that kind of problem? That leads us into part 2, which is choose a model, a business model. Now, most people make the mistake of thinking they need to go super advanced here. In reality, most often when you go advanced or complex, you end up causing more hiccups or constraints for yourself, more so than it actually benefits you and the ease of use in you taking your business off the ground, getting the first results, and then taking it further. And so you don't need an entire startup when you think of these big tech startups. You need a business model that works just as one person. So here are 3 choices that anyone can get started with easily with a low level of experience. Number 1 is freelancing, that you sell your skills on a result or time base and you do work for other people. Number 2 is consulting or coaching services, meaning you work with someone to help them get a specific result. Number 3 is digital products. Think ebooks, think video materials, think courses, stuff that you can create once and then sell over and over and over. Why are those good ideas? Well, these are all things that you can go into quickly with a low level of experience, and all of them have high margins of profitability, meaning that it doesn't cost you a lot to go into it, and the difference between what it costs you to deliver that service or that product and what you make is high. To give you an example, my first product was a custom t-shirt. And as t-shirts aren't that expensive and cost a lot to make and to market and to transport, you end up with very low margins. For someone with no experience going into that, your chances of succeeding are not that great. Whereas what I'm doing now, which is one-on-one personal coaching, helping people start their own businesses, it's really the main cost for me is my time. But the price I'm able to charge for the result I help those people get based on my expertise is so much higher that almost all of the money that I generate is pure profit. So that's why you want to do something that is low capital intensive for you to get started with. Now, you have a problem, you figured out an idea for a solution. Now you want to validate your idea, but you want to do it quickly. And so step 3 is validate with speed. You don't need to launch initially because you don't know if anyone wants your solution. You just need people to agree to it. What does that look like? Well, someone saying, I need this, or yes, I would want that, or yes, I want to buy that. And maybe if you're really new in the game and you don't have a lot of experience, maybe it's not people buying or paying you, but them agreeing to you helping them for free, doing some free work initially, in exchange for a testimonial. Here, the most important thing is not aiming for perfection. I did this for so long and it kept me from getting started for multiple years because I thought I had to have the perfect idea, perfect execution, perfect business model, perfect budgeting. All of these things needed to be on point for me to have the highest odds of succeeding, when really that's not the important thing. The important thing is that I go out there and I test my idea and see if anyone's willing to buy it. Because if what you're offering is something that no one wants, then it doesn't matter how perfect the idea is, doesn't matter how perfect you are at budgeting. You're never gonna make any revenue from your sales. And if you're not making money in your business, you don't have a business. Simple as that. Now that you've validated your idea, step number 4 is that you don't need all the fancy schmancy tech to get started. We already know that it's just you, and some software is probably a good idea, but keep it simple. Stick to things like Stripe or Gumroad or PayPal for payments, Google Drive or Notion, or simple information management systems, something like Calendly for your scheduling or Canva for your creatives. Use as many free tools as possible until you're making money and can invest in other softwares. But even still at that point, the simpler you can make it, the less complex you can keep it, the easier it will be for you to scale that system in the future. Simple scales. Now, step number 5 is where it gets a little bit techie. Because if you're a solopreneur, you're your own boss. No one is there to tell you what to do. So you need a disciplined system for yourself. Now, I'm not talking about some advanced system here, but I'm talking about you administrating your own time, making sure that on a daily basis you get the work done that needs to get done, so you're not left at the end of the day having not done all the important action points. To give you an example, in the beginning when you're looking for your customers, maybe you want to do 100 outreach a day, meaning that you reach out to someone one-on-one, either by phone, by text, by email, whatever way you try to get a hold of someone on a one-to-one basis. That is one outreach. And it is an input, it is something that you do, it is not a result, it's not an outcome. Of course, the outcome is to get some kind of transaction in the end, or to get someone to click on a link or something, but we always measure in inputs because that is what we can control. We can't control the outcome. So if we tie our goals to the outcomes, then it's going to be incredibly difficult to track whether we're making progress or not, because we don't know where we're doing the right things and where we might be making mistakes. And we can have a goal of wanting a certain number of website visits or purchases or subscriptions, or whatever the goal is. But when we're looking at, are we going in the right direction, what we want to measure and monitor is really the inputs and not the outputs. So what do I recommend you doing for your discipline system? Well, I recommend that you schedule a certain amount of time every day that you have to working. And then for that block of daily time, you have a list of action points that are the most important bottleneck issues for your business right now. So in short, it's a list of action inputs, things you will be doing, not outcomes, and they will be prioritized in the order that they are most helpful to you getting whatever's the biggest issue in your business right now. Doing this, make sure that you get some time spent every day. An alternative is just having a set of specific tasks that you need to get done, and then the sooner you can get those done, the sooner you can take a break, if that's what you prefer. But then at least you've gotten the important action points done. And so step 6 is audience first, then product. Because if you want easier sales, then establishing trust with your potential customers is such a huge benefit, which is why we have all these platforms. One is entertainment, of course, but so many people build a relationship or a connection with their audience, which they can then later leverage to making some kind of sale. Just like the fact that right now you're watching this, and hopefully you feel like I'm providing you value in terms of how you can get started on your business, and maybe in the future you will consider getting help from my company so that I can help you get the dream results in your business that you want. Obviously, promotions are not the sole reason for creating content, but it's just to give you a very specific example of how it can be used and why it makes such a big difference, because in the beginning no one knows you. So you have to do all the work reaching out to people to get your first customers. But if you build a brand, if you have a channel like YouTube, like X, like LinkedIn, TikTok, where you post content and give value for free to people and start building those connections, those relationships with your audience, they get to know you, they get to know what you do, what you can help them achieve or get rid of if they have a problem, then they will be much more likely to buy from you in the future. And that is a huge advantage. But also, Like we were looking at the digital products earlier, these media things, just like with coding or with the courses, are things you only have to make once and people can continue watching them over and over and over. Now, step 7, the last step, is your first sales. At this point, you're ready to get your first customers. You have everything sorted out. You know what you're offering. You know who you're offering it to. You have a simple system. You know at what times during the day you will be working. You know what you have to do. Now you just need to do it. And this is one of the most important things. This was where I stopped. I held myself back for a long time. Like I was so intimidated that people didn't want what I was selling. One, because I didn't feel like I had the evidence to support what I was selling and I was not willing to do free work first, but also because I was afraid of rejections. I thought the whole world was going to come crumbling down if people said no and that it would all be over, all bad things would happen and it would just be terrible. When in reality, nothing happens if someone says no to you. In fact, you can then ask them why they say no and you get a bunch of data on that, but your situation is entirely the same. Unless, of course, you've caused huge debt for yourself, which you now then have to pay off or live with. You know, the whole point of this video is getting started in a way that's low capital intensive, which you can fail at for free. And so the consequences are almost none. And so how do you actually get started with that in mind? Well, look at your followings across all of your channels. If you have a YouTube, if you have TikTok, if you have Instagram, if you have Facebook, look at all your social platforms and look at all the people you're friends with, who follow you, who you follow. A lot of these people will be ones who know you or you know to a certain extent. These are what we call leads, potential buyers. And so what I recommend, and this is something I totally got from Hamosi, which is for you to reach out to 100 people for 100 days. Do free work first. That's completely fine. I've been doing free work for 2 years in my business and now I'm seeing the results of it. But do what gives you the biggest chances of being successful. If you don't have the proof, get the proof first. It will be so much easier for you to sell people when you have evidence that you know what you're doing. So start there. Then once you've delivered your product to someone or delivered your service to someone, get a testimonial. And the main idea here is that you just need proof. You just need to get a few sales to understand that it does work. It just takes a little while and it won't work the first time. But that doesn't mean you should quit. So many people just quit the first time when they don't get these huge results that they expect on the first try, which is absolutely insane. But that's something I say now, having the experience I have now. And I wasn't at that point 5 years ago. But that's why I want to share my experience with you now. Don't think it has to be perfect. It won't be on the first try, but try and then realize what you did wrong and then improve on that. And if you do that enough times without paying too much in between those mistakes, you can't lose. That's the beautiful thing. And so to recap, pick a real problem, start with a proven model that you know already works. If it's boring, it likely has a high chance of working. Validate your idea before you start investing in all sorts of things or setting up systems. Use simple software. Build trust with your potential customers, your audience, and get your first sales. That's it, really. Now, if you're listening to this thinking, oh, that sounds perfect, but I still doubt whether I can make it work, don't worry about that, okay? You can make it work for sure if you're just willing to get started and take one day at a time. Now, if you want help in making it happen, I have 2 options for you. One, you can get one-on-one personal help where I guarantee you that you get the results. You can check out the link below. You might have to sign up for a wait list. You know, what I do is so good that I can't take on too many people at once. So I can't promise you that there will be an open spot. But if we're at the end of the year, then maybe there'll be one sometime soon. Second option is you don't get one-on-one help, but you just go join my free community. I've taken all my coaching materials and put them into a free course that everyone can get. There's no commitment to anything. And essentially you get all the videos, you get all the templates, you get all the scripts, and all the know-how. You just don't get the one-on-one involvement, the accountability, and the guarantees. But if you want to get started yourself, go check it out. I've really put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into making this course and making it as good as I think it can be with the point I'm at right now. And so I really think it can help you out. If you like this video, let me know in the comments, what is the most frustrating thing for you about starting a business and what would you like to see me make a video about? As always, of course, thank you for watching and stay disciplined.